Hey guys, so welcome back. I'm your host, Cardmaster Phoenix here, and I'm going to be bringing you guys my Exodia Turbo deck profile. So, first of all, the only reason this deck profile works, the only reason this deck setup works, is because this deck is specifically designed to tackle Waijo Pro Ranked, which is why I'm using it on Waijo Pro. So, and what I mean by that is there's a few reasons. One, if you look at my side deck, this is not intended to be cards that I actually use for my side deck. These are just cards that I had to take out and replace because of different reasons. Karibo. I took this out because originally I wasn't running Rich the Black Forest. I wasn't running Raiden, Radion. I wasn't running Malefic Cyberend. I wasn't running Gold Sarcophagus. I wasn't running Cyber Shadow Gardener. I used to be running triple Karibo and like double Marshmallow or something, triple Cup of Ace, triple Swords, and triple Quaking. Now, over time that changed. Karibo, it was just a dead draw to me. I never got it when I needed it, and there was 2 instances where it saved me from death because of a Chaos Max, and I just discarded it to survive. But then they'd pop a hand destruction from hand, and then that would screw me over with my Exodia pieces, because I would just stack those up. That was before I learned the conserve strat, where you intentionally keep all your Exodia pieces +2 in hand. That way you can discard 2 cards and still have all your Exodia pieces if you need to. Or, you could just Ash Blossom it, but of course with my luck I didn't have that in hand. Marshmallow. I was running this card at 2, but then first of all, it should be said I took out the Karibo to add in these Radions, and I'll get to why I did that later. This card, Marshmallow, is actually a really good card. Don't get me wrong. In standard Yu-Gi-Oh! Play, this card's amazing. The only reason I'm not running it currently is, in Waijo Pro, especially on Ranked, it just doesn't work properly. It will deal 1,000 damage, however it will be destroyed by battle, unlike what the card text would lead you to believe. So, there's just nothing I can say about that. We just had to take that out. That was deck space that was getting clogged. So eventually I replaced that for Cyberend Dragon. Well, Malefic Cyberend Dragon, that is. Now, the reason I run triple Radion is so that I contribute one of their face-up monsters, whether it be a boss monster, whether it be something like a Sangan, or Witch of the Black Forest, or what I love to do is I love to tribute their Jinzo, or Malefic Cyberends, especially if it's a Jinzo, special summon it to the field in attack mode. Ideally, you'll already have your Cyber Shadow on the field and attack for game, because just to run down a few bugs real fast. Like I said, monster effects 90% of the time don't work. Malefic Cyberend, you can keep him on the field without a field spell, which is why we don't run him. You can easily summon Jinzo without a tribute by quote-unquote tributing Cyber Shadow while it's on the field as a monster. Only, it won't matter, because it'll just normal summon him without a tribute, so it's like it didn't even matter. Plus, he'll negate your opponent's other trap effects, but Cyber Shadow is a monster at that time, not a trap, so you can still activate it and have a one-hit wonder plus Jinzo on the field. And I've covered what Cyber Shadow Gardener in Waijo Pro Ranks is capable of in a video. It's one of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Funny moments, I believe my first incarnation of it, so go ahead and check that out if you don't mind. The reason I took out Marshmallow for Radeon, I keep saying his name wrong, is actually very simple. It's just because he's great at the spot removal of any big threat that I'm dealing with, even if it's a Chaos Max. Literally anything that I'm fighting I don't like. Boom, there it goes. And then, again, since it's in attack mode, I can attack for game, with Cyber Shadow. So, that's just why I like doing that.
Also, if you decide to use the 45 card version, which is the exact deck setup I have, plus triple Pot of Duality and double Allure of Darkness, you use them as a banish target. Otherwise, you might as well learn Gamma Seal, however you want to say it. But other than that, that's that. Moving on, I also took out Cup of Ace. There's no reason for it, really. It's just my luck. I know it seems like it's a 50-50 chance, but it's not. It's like a 90-10 chance it'll land in your opponent's favor. That way you're going -1 and they're going +2. Because they're not going just +1 because they used it. They're going +2 because it was your card, and you're -1 since it was your card. And I just replaced it for Gold Sarcophagus to search whatever I need. I mean, that's basically what I can do. Also, since it's not limited to once per turn, you can activate multiple of these per turn. Get out as many cards of however many you want at a time. Swords of Reveal Light is no longer in my deck purely because it's worthless. It's absolutely 100% worthless. If you activate it, it goes to the grave. If you set it and then activate it, it goes to the grave. The only thing that I've ever gotten out of this card is setting it as a bluff and making them pass for a massive 1 turn. But then again, when they see me set 5, it has the same effect. You know? I can set a Cyber Shadow, and it's like, okay, it's a Swords. Or it's something threatening. So there's literally no reason for Swords of Reveal Light to be here. Quaking Air Force is an amazing card. Do not get me wrong. The only reason I'm not running it at 3, like I'd highly recommend, because it is pretty much the best Mirror Force in my opinion. It's simply because I just don't have the space for it. I mean, I'm sorry, I really don't. I would love to run this card, but I don't have the space for it. Moving on to the actual deck itself. First off, let me just get the extra deck out the way. The reason we run triple Cyber End is that we can banish it for Malefic Cyber End, because along with all the bugs that I've previously mentioned, if you summon from the extra deck, or at least if you attempt to, it'll say error occurred. You'll click OK, you'll get kicked out the match, and you'll take an L for no reason, because they don't know how to fix their stuff. But anyway, moving on to the deck. 1 Max C. I shouldn't really have to explain this. This is just pure card advantage, especially in decks like Exodia and Chainburn. Every card you can get helps. Double Witch of Black Forest. This cannot be ran at 3, unfortunately, because can't be ran at 3, unfortunately. I'm sorry, just a stupid little rhyme I came up with when I was in the middle of contemplating how depressed I was because of the fact that I came to realization that I had to run this deck if I wanted to win any games, because you're not going to out a Cyber Shadow card, no. But there's that. 3 copies of Ghost Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This is just for negating pretty much anything. Card of the Mai is gone. The reason I don't run it is simple. I'm afraid I'm not going to have what I need, because if you look at it statistically, I'm hardly ever going to get back row, and more often than not, it's going to be monsters. The only weakness with this deck is I don't run real spot removal for the spawn trap cards down, but that's why Jinzo's there is to compensate for that. Also, it just negates adding from hand, so it negates Card Desires, it negates Duality, it negates Pot of Desires. Let me see, Desires. It negates Pot of Desires, Pot of Duality, Card of Demise. It negates Premature Burial, basically any card. Like, negate any effect at all that follows one of those 3 conditions. Negated. Doesn't destroy it, but it negates it. Negates it. It's kind of like Ghost Ogre in that sense. Ghost Ogre doesn't negate, it destroys. And this is just the opposite. This negates, but it doesn't destroy. But Ghost Ogre doesn't negate, but it does destroy. And then we have one of each of the Exodia pieces. I just have it set up here because it's 4 and 3, which is as even as we can get it. And I just like the look of it with the Exodia and then both hands and feet where they respectively would be. So it forms it. It forms them. Moving on, Triple Spirit Reaper. Pretty much the star of the deck, which is ironic since it's the smallest monster. Without this card, you're not going to survive. It's just the ultimate floater.
Nothing beats it. The only out to it is, I guess, technically, a Gamma Seal. Or Radion, or just anything like that in general, any kaiju. But, again, that's why we run certain cards, which we'll get to later. Triple Sangan, this is also pretty obvious. The reason we're running this is Triple Sangan plus Double Witch of Black Forest equals 5 search cards, which ideally would get you 5 pieces of Exodia, so you win. Or you can search out other cards if you want. Next up, 3 copies of Radion. I believe I've already explained why I ran this card, so moving on to Triple Jinzo. Same thing, you can just tribute. I use the term tribute very lightly here with Cyber Shadow, but there's that. Banish for special summon Malefic Cyberend Dragon because it doesn't die without a field spell because monster effects don't work. 1 day of peace, and that's it for the monster lineup. Moving on to the spell lineup, we have 1 day of peace to just draw and negate battle damage for a turn. Prevents OTKs, very nice. Then 1 copy of Dark Hole. This is actually at 1 in both the TCG and OCG, so that's just where I'm running it for board clearance. Gets rid of pretty much anything and everything except for Cyber Shadow. That's the one problem with it. The only way to destroy Cyber Shadow Gardener is to destroy it by having 2 Cyber Shadow Gardeners attack each other. Because, just a quick one then, if Cyber Shadow attacks a monster, it dies. In defense mode, it dies. If a Cyber Shadow attacks an attack position monster, you lose. The Cyber Shadow wins, and it's an 0-1 hit KO for the owner of the other monster. If Cyber Shadow attacks the defense position monster, the defense position monster dies. No piercing damage. If 2 Cyber Shadow Gardeners in attack position attack each other, they both die. And that's about it. But it's extremely broken. I've shown you the amount of damage you can do in a single attack, and it's just ridiculous. Triple Gold Sarcophagus to search out any card in the deck. And then this is my favorite combo to run with Triple Gift Card and Triple Hope for Escape. This will get them at plus 9k, which will mean that they're at, like, what, 17k? And then you're at, like, you're at like 5k, so 5 and then 1 card for every 2k difference. That's insane. That's easily plus 10 cards with the playset, if not more, which is just ridiculous. So with that being said, guys, that's gonna do it for this deck profile. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been your host, Grandmaster Phoenix, signing out. See you guys next time. Have a good one.